We are live. Hello, audience, and welcome to Breadcrumbs to Passion podcasts, where we inspire you with deeper conversations and connected conversations for you to have fun and live wholeheartedly.
I'm Amanda Giebel.
And I'm Jason French, your co-host for today's episode.
Number 3, comfort in chaos.
Awesome. Wow. Amanda, let's go with this topic today, because when you asked me, what do you reckon we should talk about this week? I said, let's talk about comfort in chaos. So what came to your mind when I said that to you?
I was very confused.
Very confused. Why were you confused about comfort in chaos?
I was like, it doesn't even make sense. I was like figuring it out. And then I said to myself like 6 times, comfort in chaos. Comfort in chaos. Comfort in chaos. And nothing was coming to my head. I was like, seriously, what is he actually talking about?
And so when you said that to me, what was it that I was actually talking about? I said, isn't it interesting how many people, exactly like you said, are so comfortable in chaos, they actually don't realize how comfortable they really are in chaos. It's just a normal thing. And where it actually came from was inspired from our previous episode, where you were talking about how people don't take that time out and be in the moment before they start their day.
Mm-hmm.
So they create this ripple of chaos, which I thought was really, really interesting. And so it was funny because as I did sessions the following days, what kept on popping up were people that were actually really comfortable in their chaos. And when I'd say, so you feel okay with that? They're like, no, not really. I said, well, obviously you're really comfortable with it because you don't see it as being a problem. Do you know what I mean? Or an issue. It's just normal. It's normality.
Yeah.
And I think one of the best parts that I learned from this comfort in chaos was when we literally went in our first lockdown and everything was shut down and everyone was running around in chaos, trying to get the toilet paper, trying to get the pasta, trying to get their drinks, trying to get all these other things. And it's just manic, just crazy. Yeah. And all they're asking you to do, where a lot of people say, if only I could just have a day off and sit at home and do nothing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, interesting. You're given the opportunity. You don't know when you're going to have come out. You're just going to get that time just to chill out and be in the moment. However, what I realized through that process, different ones that hadn't really done a lot of work on stilling the mind or coming into that place of harmony and peace within, they were living on that adrenaline of chaos. And the thing that I loved was watching Venice, when I think it was the dolphins and so forth, in such a highly polluted and chaotic place as such, they all started coming in when all the humans were put back in their rooms. Do you know what I mean? And they all started playing in those waterways and stuff. And I just think it's amazing when you look at those particular benefits that we were given, really, to be able to see how much we live in chaos and are really comfortable with it.
Yeah. And I think like that's cemented in the topic for this week, is that we were talking last week when we were actually in lockdown again, and we were just like, so what's been going on? And I know that I said to you, I actually love being in lockdown. I'm so much more productive because, I go to yoga in the middle of the day or whatever, and it takes time for me to get there, do the yoga class, come back. And it's kind of the interruption throughout the whole day as well. It's like, I just don't have that 3, 4, 5 hours of pure time where I can really get focused. Yeah. And when I'm going to yoga, or I've got to go in and out in my day, like my normal day when we're not in lockdown. That's that chaos that we're talking about. So when I'm in lockdown, I'm completely happy because I get that extra amount of time just to be really focused and in the moment, which doesn't happen very often.
Which we were having a little cackle about that just before we started, weren't we?
Yes. Look, I can't say that I've mastered that comfort in chaos, but I understand the you know,
The principle.
the principle of it. And yeah, I think it's shown a lot of people, and I guess this is why we have so many problems as well, like in relationships at home, because our mind is so busy all of the time. It's constantly on the go. We're constantly thinking of that next thing, what's on that to-do list, what's for dinner, when's the scheduling of picking up children or of business meetings or whatever it may be. We're constantly thinking ahead, and that's our whole day.
Like, and that's really what I believe is like a survival mode rather than a thriving mode.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people are just, because they've been conditioned to believe that this is the way they are meant to live their life in this, what is it, the rat on the wheel, you know, just continually going over the same thing every day. And they're not understanding why they're not feeling fulfilled, or they're not feeling that deeper meaning or that purpose of what it is that they're actually doing. And what they end up doing is retreating more into that place of disconnection rather than connection, because of the fact that they've lost like that clarity on themselves. Do you know what I mean? On that whole reason why they do what they do, or they are where they are, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really interesting topic for a lot of people to really understand how their chaos that they've been comfortable in is maybe not being something that's really supportive to their health and well-being, especially their mindsets, you know, like, and how that impacts them physically and emotionally as well.
And well, it's definitely programming, I think. You know, it's deeply ingrained in us to, well, you know, it's like we're not doing enough.
Yeah.
Like every day we're not doing enough. If we only could do this a bit more, you know, and it's like that constant running. Like the busier I am, that means I'm more successful.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's two things.
But yeah, it's not that at all, because in our minds we may think, oh yeah, being busy is like, you know, I'm doing great. But are you really doing great? Like if we break the things down, like health, is your health really great? No, because we're in that constant stress, that fear, that anxiety, that's, you know, that swell in our stomach, or we get these diseases, or we're getting sick all the time. It all comes from that overstimulation.
Yeah, and the other thing that I've picked up from this as well, that a lot of people don't actually realize why they're actually doing it, and it's because it is usually a trauma reaction that they're actually doing it from. Like they're trying to be outside of their body as opposed to be in their body, which is embodiment. The other reason is the people that usually do this are martyrs. They love to keep on martyring themselves and look busy so they feel this kind of significance. And the other one that I looked at are micromanagers. It's this significance again of feeling important or enough, that they're doing all this sort of stuff by micromanaging all their scenarios. The thing that I picked up from this, I came up with a syndrome that I call bird flapping syndrome, where they're continually, you know, flapping their wings. They're flapping their wings and they're thinking they're doing all these amazing things. And what they end up doing is actually being less productive, because they're constantly in chaos. Yet they can't understand that this chaos is not actually fulfilling them. It's, if anything, it's taking them further away from what it is they're wanting to achieve, experience, be fulfilled in, all that sort of jazz. So they're the different ones that I kind of picked up. And I really picked up this working in a work culture, that these people were continually, I was being basically a Zen master, and that they were continually like in this place of bird flapping. And that's where I got it, because I'm like, you guys look like you're really busy, but you're not. Like, you're doing the same amount of work as everybody else, you know, like as such. You got maybe more people where you're working. You're looking like, and there's this competition that was coming through this culture. And the other thing that I picked up with people that go through this obviously come from some kind of addictions that they're coming down from as well, that they're trying to control things. They're trying to get into that place of safety, because they're out of their bodies. So when we actually learn to come into the body and get grounded within, there's a massive change of clarity comes into your life. A a much better confidence within you. And the other thing that I find is that we're more courageous in being able to go in the direction of what it is that we really want, because we feel amazing. We're empowered.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I had a conversation today around empowerment. And, it's like that spring in your step. When you're feeling empowered, it's like, it doesn't matter what comes at you. You can be rational. It doesn't matter if someone's offloading their stuff on you. It's like you can just be completely sane, and it doesn't affect you, you know? And this is when we've got too many things on our mind, or too much going on. It's very easy to overreact to something, not be in that presence. Okay, what's this actually saying? And just realizing, hey, well, that's on the other person. That's not on you. It doesn't matter what they're saying. If you've got a lot going on in your mind, or you're too busy, or you're flapping.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah. I used to flap a lot. It rings true to my
Yeah, it resonates.
The amount of chaos that's going on in someone's vicinity or place or mind, it really determines how they're going to reply to someone that's, coming at them forcefully, or, has nasty words to say or something like that. And you know what? It's actually really funny to be able to sit in that Zen place where we're, replying from complete, this doesn't really affect me. Like, you can see that it's affecting or raising the boiling point in someone else. But to sit there, it's like they look crazy, because it's the up and down of the emotions, and you can see that through their reaction.
That's it. And like I said, there is usually a trauma reaction in that. If it's a trigger for somebody that is in that particular place of chaos, there are people that are actually addicted to drama. I find this surprising out there, the audience. However, what you'll find that, there's so many, where there's an opportunity for there to be some kind of drama, people jump in on it and make it bigger than what it actually really is. So that they can get there, be seen, heard, and acknowledged as being, they
know it all. They know they're in the in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a sense of belonging. I'm glad you said that. It was actually, it's like the belonging part, isn't it? I belong to this, and it could be I belong to injustice. I belong to the Zen masters. I belong to the peacekeepers, and I belong to this, that, and the other. The sheep, as some people are putting it out there as. Do you know what I mean? Like, it gives this big thing of I belong to that, and it's like a sense of badge of honor. Like, it helps me in my chaos. And what I think that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of that comes from survival. It really does come from survival, and how you were developed emotionally growing up in chaos, in situations of chaos. If there was always chaos in your world, you'll probably find that that's why you thought it as being as acceptable.
Normal.
Yeah, normal. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was thinking about is the way that, especially like with business owners, I find this, really big for them as well, because it's kind of like the overachiever trying to get all these things done as well creates more chaos, because they're not prepared to relinquish roles, etc., to the people that they trust to do. You know what I mean? Like, there are other aspects that you might be seeing yourself as, no, that's not me doing chaos. You could be creating more chaos by not stepping away in your leadership for other people to do what they need to do in that particular area.
Well, I think it's a thing of control as well. Like, it's if I'm in this power, I can control everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And
how's that work?
I know for us, what was our biggest thing is that we wanted to change the way businesses do business.
Yeah.
That, like, that's our overarching thing of what we would like to change in the world,
Yeah.
is that everyone is in balance, and whether that mean personally, or personally, which leads into the workplace, into every individual, like it's got to be fair for everyone, and it's got to be balanced. There's no hierarchy. Everyone's on the same page. Yeah, you might have more responsibility, but it doesn't mean that you're above someone else. That's
Exactly, and you're not below either. It's like, I think that a lot of people, that's the inferiority complex coming in, where that comes into that whole place of chaos as well.
yeah,
People that are in an inferiority complex, they usually are ones that create more chaos so that they don't have to own their inferiority, or they can come in and save the day in chaotic situations. That's another.
upload that what's really going on onto someone else.
Someone else, exactly. Yeah, and then that's a big one, as we've both experienced. Like, that's really cool to be able to see that as well. The other thing I found as well is, like, I think you covered this briefly before around that particular area. When if we're chaotic inside of us, you'll find everything outside of you is in chaos as well. So if you're wanting to shift the chaos, get zen with you.
Yeah, yeah. Take some time out. And it was funny because both of us today, we actually took some time out and actually listened to the same meditation
Yeah.
from a really cool lady, Reiki Rachel.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, and we'll push that one out on YouTube. So yeah, we just had this conversation, and literally we were like,
We didn't even know that each other followed Reiki Rachel. And then I said, I did this meditation this morning. And Amanda's like, really? I love it. And I'm like, I did that too. And I was like, wow, that's amazing.
yeah, just completely aligned. So yeah, it's really cool. But that's the thing, like, even it doesn't matter if it's not 30 minutes, an hour a day. Like, just start with 5 minutes. There's 5-minute meditations on YouTube that you can actually just type in 5-minute meditation.
Or just simply sit down and just take nice deep breaths in and out.
Yeah. Look,
For 5 minutes.
I remember someone telling me once, okay, I was used to doing meditations, and okay, go and do 15 minutes, no phone, no meditations, no music, just sit there. And I was like, what?
Welcome to my 10-day silent retreat.
15 minutes compared to 10 days. And I'm like, what? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, and it's powerful. Actually, when you actually do it, it's like, wow, I can sit here for longer because this is really enjoyable. Like,
Well, another one of those things that you're talking about, I think that what I was able to do a 10-day, everyone kept on saying to me, you're not going to make 10 days because you can't be quiet. And I was like, oh, how rude. And, and another thing that I got, I actually did it with no problem. And it got to day 7, actually. It was a bit challenging because I was like, I hit this massive realization about myself, and I just wanted to celebrate. I wanted to go and have fun and like joy and all this sort of stuff. And I couldn't. And so I had to, yeah, and I couldn't even tell anyone. I wasn't even allowed to tell anyone. And so the thing that I found, the thing that I found really interesting is that the different people that were experiencing stuff that didn't realize how that, like I said, like a past trauma had impacted them. And that's what they were running from, because when they're in that silence of the mind, all that subconscious thoughts come up, and they don't know how to handle them.
Yeah.
They don't know. And of course, we both are able to support people in that particular area, because it's not that you don't know how to. It's more the fact of the fear of not knowing how to. It's being able to be supported to take you through that fear and take you through to the other side of it. It allows you to become more confident to go through that. And I think that's something that we both, obviously love supporting and guiding people through, because we've been through it ourselves. And like you said, sitting in that place of doing that, my first thing that I started was, that I was going to say before, was through running marathons. Yeah. And I remember one of the different speakers I think heard, and they said, these people that run with earphones, they're actually escaping their mind. And if you want to strengthen your mind, run without the earphones. And so I'd be having conversations with myself for 42 kilometers. And it was interesting how that prepared me for down the track of doing that particular thing. Not saying you have to run a 42-kilometer marathon so you can go to a 10-day silent retreat. What I am saying is it was those sort of little practices started to help whatever it is that you wish to go. Because I found it a lot easier to run 42 kilometers than sit 10 days in that, because it's amazing what shifts in your body. It's incredible.
Look, well, congratulations on both of those things, because only certain humans could do that. Like, run 42 kilometers is one thing, and then sit in a 10-day silent meditation. All right, that's the extreme. Let's just back it up for most of our listeners here.
What I'm saying is 5 minutes you can do. But you were going, no, I can't do 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, you can.
Exactly. And, you know, it's that progression. It starts somewhere. And usually we find in that 5 minutes, if we do that 5 minutes, that monkey chatter just becomes louder and louder and louder. And you're like, what's going on here? Why is my mind talking to me so much?
Where's the monkey swinging to now?
Yeah, that's it. Flapping. We've got the flapping.
Monkey swinging, flapping. We've got the whole forest in there now. Like, it's
literally, that's what goes on in everyone's head, like, most of the day. It's like that chaos. So I think, you know, today's topic, comfort in chaos, as much as I didn't understand it when you first were telling me, I was probably in chaos when you actually told me comfort in chaos, and I just didn't understand quite where you were going with that, and literally just wasn't making sense in my head. When you explained it, I was like, yes, that is a fantastic topic, considering we are in lockdown and people
not anymore.
Are going crazy. Well, not anymore, but last week when we were discussing this, you know, people were going like crazy. What can we do? We can't do anything. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah. And like I said, if you can sit in that place and just observe and allow yourself, whatever emotions come up, just allow them to come through. Because at the end of the day, like, I think one of the teachers, well, one of the gurus says, you know, this too shall pass. I think it's Buddha. This too shall pass. So allow it just to go through. What I find is the more you shove it down, the more chaos.
Come back and
bites you on the butt. On the butt, not the buck. On the butt.
Something in that regard.
Yeah.
Actually, a little project that I did over the weekend was 4 hours of Lego. That was and 4 hours, that was a long time of doing Lego. But
especially for you, young lady.
I did, yes, for anyone that knows me, yes, that's been a mission. You running 42 kilometers with me sitting there doing Lego for 4 hours.
Well, to be honest, I prefer to run 42 kilometers than do 4 hours of Lego.
Oh, I actually really enjoyed it. I think because it's creative. So it's like, painting pictures or doing
I do that.
artwork or even coloring in a book. These are all little things that we, and it's coming back to those childhood
developmental.
Yeah, let's get back to doing stuff like that, because that's really powerful for the mind, and it just allows you to go back to that place where it's just that monkey chatter quietens down, the bird flapping quietens down, and you can actually just be present.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Right back at you at the same time. You're amazing.
I missed it, but anyway. You're amazing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So for anyone that's wondering if they're really that comfortable in chaos and they would like to get out of their comfort zone and obviously live from a place that's more in their genius mind, where they can discern and feel and understand what's actually happening for them on a daily basis, then by all means, please reach out. We'd love to have a conversation with you, and who knows, we could support you in moving to your ultimate life. And
ultimate life, ultimate empowerment, ultimate confidence, and living with passion and purpose. I think that there's some big words there that stand out to a lot of people that may be feeling lost. So yeah, reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. And if we can put you on that little bit of a right path instead of flapping those wings, perfect. You know, more people like following the right path, the less chaos we're going to have in the world.
Exactly. And won't be driving your vehicle with everyone all over the road. You'll be able to stay in your own lane on the way to infinite possibilities. So, as always, remember to be brave and be the change. And for you, Amanda,
empower yourself with whatever feels good. That's the one for this week.
that's the one for this week.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You've been listening to the Breadcrumbs to Passion podcast with Amanda and Giebel and Jason French. We look forward to sharing with you on the next episode next week.
Monday, 4:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.